Hey there. So today what we're going to do is we're going to pick up where we left off, and we're going to quickly go over setting up a game over screen with an exit menu and a restart menu. And then we're also going to set up the mechanisms to get to that screen. Basically running into the baby dragon and falling off the world and hitting the water and drowning. So we're going to switch over right away to the screen capture here for you. And I've got the scene all set up and ready to go. And again, to save time, what I've done is I've just set everything up, and then I'm just going to go over it piece by piece to show you how it all works and how to implement it. So what we've done is I've created this game over screen. I've set it up as a new scene. And so all it is a 2D sprite where, go over to my inspector mode, I've just set up this game over image. Then I've got a button for quit and restart. And in those, what I've done is I've just set them up with a hover over color that's a little bit brighter than the regular font color. So that when you hover over them, they'll actually just change color on you, a little bit to let you know you're hovering in the right spot. Pretty standard behavior mechanism used in a lot of things. There's a whole lot you can go over here. You can actually change the icon if you hover over to a different image. So I can make like a green or a red big flashy button, and there's lots of things you could do. I think you could even set those up for particle effects, although I haven't done that yet, but I've seen it somewhere and I think this is probably where they do it. That being said, pretty simple scene. Then I just saved that scene out. And then we call it from the main menu. But we did set up scripts on each of these, and what I'll do is I'll show you the scripts, and I'll show you first the quit script, because it's like the simplest script you're ever going to see. So basically what we've done is we just have an extend the button, so that means it's attached to this quit button here. We've attached the script up here. You see there's next to get rid of it, or green means to add it. We've gone over this before, but we've created this quit script. And basically all it does is we set up a signal, which you do over here in your inspector on the right hand side, node, and all we've done is we've set up this pressed. So we just double clicked on it and we said, hey, on button pressed. Then what we've done is we've set this up here. And this is like super simple. But you need to know that anytime you want to deal with referencing scenes, changing scenes, loading scenes, ending scenes, pulling up sub-scenes, you're going to use this get tree command. Basically, every scene in a game is laid out, and it's basically the game tree. So the scene tree. So this get tree just is how you navigate around your scenes. So get tree, bracket, bracket, like any GD script, then dot quit. Quit's the command attached to the get tree. So basically you end it off with the two brackets. You're just killing the scene. You're quitting the scene. That's all you're doing. So then the next thing you need to know is that's it for that. But if we come over here to the restart script, on the restart script we got this extra stuff up here. So first we're just going to go over this, and then I'll tell you why I put this in. So this is basically the same function, same signal on pressed. Then it's get tree again because you're dealing with a scene, but this time instead of dot quit, it's dot change underscore scene underscore to underscore file. And now that's something important about GD script. I don't know if I covered it before, but basically it's close to real language. A lot of the things, it's not really, but it kind of is. And when you read that, it makes sense to you. And the underscores are because it's all one command, but the underscores are there to space it out and make it read a little more like a sentence. So it's basically saying, get the scene, now change the scene to this file. And because scene is a file, right? So it's like, get this tree, change the scene. We want to make the scene now this level 1 scene. So why this exists up here is purely for my convenience. Now in GD script you can preload things as resources, and that makes them load up faster so they're available. You would do this for like an inventory menu or a mini map or things like that, where you want to have them, you don't want time for them to load. You want them pretty much always loaded, always running, and then they come onto screen quickly and easily with the push of a button or something, right? That's where ideally you would use it. Now in this scene here, if you look at this 2D, there is not much going on. It's not going to take much to load the scene. It's not used for that purpose here. It's used because I am horrible at typing and I make a lot of mistakes and my syntax sucks, and I'm still getting used to the formatting and the way to type things out. So I use it as a bit of a cheater. So basically what I do is I grab that scene, drag it up to here, hold control down, and then let go of the mouse button, and it drops it in as a constant resource. It is just my way of being able to put this somewhere where I can just select this, Control C, come down here, Control V. That's what I'm using it for. But it also is good to know that you can use that as a preloader for things like inventory screens, character screens, things like that. And as we get into building some of those things out in the future, you'll see that demonstrated, and that's where that comes in. It's just nice to know how it can be used as a resource, but it's also nice to know when you're getting used to GD scripting and you want a little cheater for the syntax. It saves a bit of a pain in the typing mistakes. And since I make a lot of typing mistakes, I'm all for saving myself pain. So that's how that's set up. So basically now when you click the button, it's going to reload level 1. Okay, easy breezy. Now let's go into level 1. So what we've done is now, I'm going to switch over to 2D. We have this here. This is a world boundary collision shape, right? It's kill zone 1. And so what I've wanted to do is I set that up ahead of time so that when the player falls through here, anywhere he falls through here, when he falls into the water, hits this depth, he's going to hit this world boundary, and this world boundary is going to then basically send him to that game over screen. So it's basically you got 1 life, and you're going to hit this, and you're going to go and you're going to go to that game over screen. Now in future installments, probably different type of games, probably top-down game is where I'll implement it, because I'm not really much of a platform builder, but it's the best way for you to get started. So I'm going to move on to like probably after this episode, I'll probably move on to some top-down stuff. But I wanted to show you how this works. But in future installments, you'll be setting up variables for your lives, and when you hit this, it wouldn't just take you to the game over screen. You would lose a life, and then it would restart you like what that last restart screen button did. It would have that command built in for when you contacted this, you would lose a variable life and it would restart the screen, and that variable life would be set up as a global variable. But we'll go into all of that as time goes on. We'll also go into keeping score and stuff. We're not going to build up score here. I decided not to build in the collectibles here, and we'll do that in the next one. But that being said, so all you need to do here is you need to set up basically an area 2D, call it whatever you want for reference. I always rename them because I don't want 10,000 area 2Ds in a game, right? And then set up a collision shape to that. And if I go over here to my inspector, so basically I've chosen world boundary. There's a bunch of different collision shapes. I can choose this. You could choose all sorts of things, a line, circle, square. When we set up the baby dragon, we set up a square as a collision shape. So, but what we've done is we've just set up a world boundary. So what a world boundary does is it's just basically a line that you lay out anywhere you want, vertical, horizontal, whatever. This one happens to be horizontal, and it goes across your whole level. You put it where you want it, and then wherever anything contacts it that you specify, anything contacts into it, then it does the action you've assigned to it through a script. And so that's what we've done here. So we've set up this collision shape as a world boundary, and then on our kill zone 1, we've set up a script. I'll go back over to scripts. It's a pretty simple script. Again, because of my typing, I've dragged in scene 1, dragged that in as a constant, as a preload, ready to rock and roll. And then what I've done is I'm on the restart. Sorry, I want kill zone. Sorry, I dragged in the game over screen scene. Sorry, I dragged in as a pre-constant. Same thing, just different scene, right? Then on the function on body entered. And again, that's on the node. And it's right here, on body entered. And what I've set it up to do is just, if anything enters it, doesn't matter what it is, it could be the baby dragon entering it, but because the baby dragon is set up with this block here and this block here, there's no fall down path, so we're not worried about the baby dragon hitting them. And if there was open like this, we'd just set up an invisible collider here that only the baby dragon would collide with, and he'd bounce back and forth, and the player wouldn't collide with him. So there's ways around that also, but that's the simplest methodology. But because we don't have to worry about a baby dragon hitting it, we just set it up over here in the scripts for anything. So if anything enters that 2D node, I have it set up for debugging to print collide. We don't actually need it, but it'll just print collide down here for me for the debugging process. But then what we've done is I've set up the scene tree change again to change to the file game over scene. So basically, when the player drops through here, hits that, it's going to go to that other scene. So we're going to demonstrate all those things we've set up here right now for you. So we drop in to the start, we hit play, I come down here, and there we go. It loads this scene, so we can quit, and it just closes out the game. We'll do that again. And then we can hit restart, and then we drop back into scene 1 where we can do it all over again. Quit. Now, one thing that we might want to do is we might want to come over here. We might want to select this sprite, and we might want to make him a little bit bigger. I didn't really play around with that too much. Let's go 3. And we're just going to move him. Line them up to that corner. And we're going to take our quit button, move them down here. Take our reset button, move them over here. Perfect. Scene. Save all scenes. Play. Still not going to be perfect, but I just wanted to demonstrate that to you. Show you just how easy it is to muck around with that stuff. See? Much bigger on the screen. Now my hover over color, interesting. That one's working. But the quit one isn't. It's just white. So we're going to take a look at that. I'm going to go to quit. And I'm going to come down here. Hover over color. Oh, hover pressed. You don't want that. We just want a font hover color. That'll work. Scene. Save all scenes. Play. That should work now. There we go. See how it got a little bit brighter? Perfect. Quit game. All right. Now what we want to do is we want to come back to level 1 scene. And we want to set it up so when the player hits the baby dragon, he also dies. We haven't got that done yet. So baby dragon, we have Ray client, baby dragon 2. I want to go add a child node, collision 2D, boom. Now we're going to make that shape. We're going to just make it a super simple circle. Put it right there. And I'm just going to scale it up a little bit here. Perfect. Excellent. Oh, I guess I need to attach an area 2D shape to that. All right. Add a child node. Let's see how that works. Collision shape and go right to that. Okay, that fixes all that. And we're gonna call it dragon. B dragon area 2D. Just to identify it, and then this one is gonna be the same. B dragon area 2D. There's probably a better way to do this, but anyway, that's good. That works for me. Now what I want to do is I'm going to go here and I'm going to create a new script, create it. Then I'm over here in scripts, and basically what I want to do is I just want to copy this kill zone. Control C, baby dragon. Make sure there's nothing in there. File, save, scene, save all scenes. And now we're just going to try this live in production. I haven't pre-practiced this for you. We're just going to give it a go. And that won't work. Extends 2D can only be used once. Oh, okay. So what I've done, yeah, I inadvertently in my rush to set that up. Let's just back that out of there. And we'll try saving that. Try that again. I put extends area 2D twice in my rush, so. Alright, let's see what we got here. And, oh, it didn't work. So I bumped into him, and it did not kill me. So I need to figure out what I did wrong there. Alright. So it did not print collide. It did not take me to the game over screen. It did extend area 2D. Let me just check my no, that shouldn't matter. It should just work. It did not even print collide. So on body entered. Oh, okay. That's because I just copied it and pasted it. I did not add in a new. Okay. I had to add in a new signal, so that's important when you're making those changes. You need to actually set up the no. You can't just copy paste it because it's not gonna be recognized as a proper signal. So that's important. And in my haste, I apologize. I did that wrong. So what I need to do is I need to click on that, and I need to go. Body entered, and baby dragon, that's fine. Okay, then this has to go. Control C, back that up out of there. Take that out of there. Perfect. File, save, play. And I'm so horrible at this. I'm not a platformer guy. Alright, let's see what happens. Come and get me, Mr. Dragon. Still didn't work. Oh, yep, there it did. It must not have touched me last time. So there we go. There you have it. So basically, that's what I wanted to go over today. And this went on a little bit longer than I wanted. Couple of live little glitches, but it's good for you to see those because you're going to make the same mistakes if you're learning this. So important, you need to make sure to put in your signals every time you put them in. Don't just copy paste them because they won't actually be referencing what you need to reference. So that's a good thing, and as I was hasty, I forgot about that. And the other thing is when you're copying and pasting, make sure not to duplicate things. Like I had this extends area 2D duplicated, and that didn't work, obviously, for obvious reasons. So I'm not sure what I'm going to cover in the next one, but I'm probably going to move on from platformers. I was thinking I might do a top-down and just get you started on the top-down, like maybe do like a Pac-Man or a Ladybug clone, something like that, where I can start to implement extra lives and also pickups and some teleporting. So I want to do a few of those things to add to your basic knowledge set. So I might do that in the same playlist, but they'll be in the next couple of episodes. We'll be covering that. Probably 3. I'll probably do it in 3 episodes. And then, of course, we're going to continue to go over the stuff that I've already done and covered with you. But I think that's a good spot to leave it. And hopefully I'll see you in the next one. Have a great day.